Got the rhythm. Good afternoon, everyone. This is Harrison Young on my great TV show, Topic Time. Another awesome guest has graced our Topic Time set, but before we introduce him, I must read off the underwriters slowly but concisely that we have today. So we have Bob Bethany's Yuiche Ryu Karate School in Hanson. We have Smoke and Ashes Tobacco Company in Whitman. We have Just For You Personal Training at 2 locations in Carver and Kingston. We have Dave's Automotive in Hanson, and we have JJ Motorsports, new business also, not in Hanson, in Halifax, the other H town. So I want to thank you guys all very much, and now we will commence with the show. It's a nice autumn day out there, crisp. It's getting it's Halloween. Happy Halloween, everybody. The gentleman I have here, he looks like a dude. He might be out. He's not out trick-or-treating, but he's actually a risen musician named David Wilson. He's part of a band called American Who. We're going to see a music video that he did, or a sample of his performance in a little while. His drummer couldn't make it in. Pat Cran couldn't make it in. We're going to give him a shout out and say hope he feels better. But when we see the video of the band, you'll see all of them, the whole band. He can name them all, and we can talk about it and how he got into the band and how he got it started, and talk to him about his own career and how it got to where it is now. So, David Wilson, thank you for being on my TV show Topic Time today.
Thanks for having me over here. Appreciate it.
Making the trip down.
Absolutely.
All right, well, you're a musician by trade, by birthright. What is it? You talk about it.
Well, maybe by birthright. My father had a degree in music.
From where?
I don't remember.
Okay.
I think it was Minnesota. We moved around a lot, but it was Minnesota or Kansas State.
Okay.
And he played piano and violin.
Okay.
He was actually a page turner for Isaac Stern, if you know the name.
I do.
Isaac Stern, the famous violinist.
Right.
So there's been music in the blood. First record I ever picked up was Meet the Beatles. And, you know, from that point on, it was
Meet the Beatles. I assume it was around the early 60s when they made their February 9th, 1964 entree to the United States, around then.
It was about 66. I was about 6 years old
Okay.
when I picked that up.
Yeah, well, you're about a year younger than me then.
Okay.
Interesting. Cool.
Yeah. But, you know, just always surrounded by it. And then, actually, I was in Penn State. My father was a professor, so we moved from Minnesota to Pennsylvania. So he was at State College, Pennsylvania, Nittany Lions.
Okay.
And I heard in the neighborhood somebody was playing like a Sly Stone tune, and I stumbled upon this garage band.
Cool.
And they were just playing out in their garage.
You were this when you were like 6 years old?
I was about 8.
8. You were a kid.
Yeah. It was a couple of years later.
Yep.
And that was the coolest thing I'd ever seen. You know, a bunch of
bet it
guitar
was.
players, bass, you know, singers, everything. I just said, that's it. I gotta do something like that. So
wow.
The rest of the time.
So when you were 8 years old in Pennsylvania, right?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
So how did you inundate yourself into music from that point on? Obviously, you had to start learning music.
Yeah. Well, I got into theater. So
Okay.
I've been doing a lot of acting over the years. And
You got into theater at 8 also?
no, I was about 11.
Okay.
About 11.
What happened between
children's theater?
All right, what happened between the time that you were inspired by that garage band and the time you started doing theater? Anything to do with music? Or if not, that's fine. But
no, but it was culture shock.
Okay.
So I was living in State College on the Penn State campus.
Right.
All the hippies.
Oh, yeah.
All the drugs.
I remember the
all
hippie
you
years.
know, the anti-Vietnam stuff.
of course,
And then I moved to North Carolina.
my birth state,
Is it where?
Fayetteville.
Fayetteville.
Is that where you were?
Greensboro.
Close.
But yeah, we used to go to every now and then. All the Marines from Fayetteville would come up to concerts at the Greensboro Coliseum.
Okay.
And you didn't want to get caught outside too often when they were up there. They'd get a little rowdy. It was fun.
I'm sure.
But
They didn't
anyway.
like the music though?
No, they loved the music.
Yeah,
'cause It was
okay.
always good. Always.
My
good
father
stuff
was in
there.
the Army. That's why I was there.
I saw Elvis there
Did
when
ya?
I was about 10 years old. We snuck in to the
Snuck in.
Coliseum, and I saw about 5 minutes Elvis Presley.
You renegade.
Yeah, it was
Love
terrible.
it. Well, before they threw you out, you mean?
Yeah.
Oh.
Yeah. Yeah, they threw us out.
They threw you out.
We were just youngsters, but
You were nothing but hound dogs, right?
No.
Yeah, I got
I
you.
didn't know much about Elvis either at the time. But anyway, so
Yep.
I got into theater in North Carolina.
Okay.
Local children's theater stuff.
Right.
And there I met a guy who played drums. And we got together and
Same age, older guy?
12, 13 years old.
Okay, so you were like
we're about the same
preteens
age.
and stuff.
Yeah.
You were maybe a little older.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. And then
That wasn't Pat, though.
No, it wasn't Pat. No.
Okay.
He's born and bred Massachusetts.
Right, here.
So his name was Craig Pierman. So I connected with him,
Yep.
and we got together with a guy that I knew from my high school. Craig lived out in the country,
Okay.
and I lived in Greensboro. And this guy named Mark McCracken, who's now an actor out in L.A.
Crack of the actor. I like it. Cool.
Yeah, he's done some good stuff actually. He was
Talk about him a little bit. I want to hear
Mark
what he's done.
McCracken. Okay.
And then we'll go back to your music
Sure.
stuff. Go ahead.
No. He was early on. He moved to Florida.
Yeah.
After we'd kind of grown up.
Yep.
And he was on Miami Vice.
Was he?
For about 5 or 6 episodes
Cool.
on Miami Vice.
Okay.
He ultimately moved to L.A.
Yep.
He did a great movie. He's done a bunch of movies, but he did a great war flick with Mel Gibson called "We Were Soldiers." It's
Okay.
based on the novel. I mean, it's based on the book that was written by a journalist who embedded himself with this platoon. Well, larger than I don't know the military structure.
I got you.
But it was the first land battles in Vietnam.
Wow.
And anyway, so he plays a helicopter pilot
Okay.
with Greg Kinnear, who's
Oh, Greg
his
Kinnear, of
partner.
course. Know him very
so
well.
anyway, so if you ever get to see that movie,
I will. I'll check it out.
He plays a guy called Too Tall.
You guys
He's
keep
very
in
tall.
touch and stuff, even though he's in
Yeah,
L.A.?
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, pretty much. He's doing quite well.
That's
Quite
awesome.
well.
I guess he is.
Nice guy. Yeah.
You ever heading out
Love
there
him.
yourself to help to do the? But you're not going to pursue acting. You just love your music.
I-
But you also indicated that you were on IMDb. You've been in some films too.
I've done.
I mean, you're going to be on IMDb more from being on my show because we're on IMDb. I can't wait to add
Never
that.
hurts. Never hurts.
No,
A
it's
little
great.
notoriety
Can't
is a
wait
good
to
thing.
add. I always love adding people on IMDb that are already there because it basically compounds the whole situation
Yeah.
of fame and fortune and all that stuff.
Well,
in the film industry.
I did a lot of acting, and
Right.
then got married, had kids, and whatnot. And
Right.
I couldn't do the rehearsals, and with bands that I'd been in, you can't really do weekend performances for 6 weeks in a legit stage thing. So I decided to try movies.
Okay.
So I managed to get into a couple of big pictures that didn't do so well, but mostly I connected with some guys down in Providence.
Okay.
A company called Scorpio Films.
I've heard of them.
Scorpio Films. Richard Mark Griffin is the key guy there. He's the director.
I think we may be Facebook friends.
Yeah, it could be. He's
Yep. Yeah, I know the name very
great
well.
guy.
Yep.
So I've done about six films with him
Okay.
over the years.
Right.
And he's just a wonderful crew down there. So every now and then, when I can, I'll go down and audition. Usually won't take anything really big because I.
They sound like they do indie films basically.
Yeah. Oh yeah.
Okay.
Yeah. It's all independent work, but they're fun. They tend to be either kind of like, off the cuff horror films.
Ever worked with Chris
or,
Esper? You know who he is?
Yeah, that name's really
Well, he's a
familiar.
Rhode Island guy. I think he's transferred to Massachusetts. I think he lives in Attleboro, but he's
Okay.
from Rhode Island.
Okay. I
Well, he's
think
actually from New Jersey, but he went to NET, New England Tech, which is in Rhode Island, and learned filmmaking.
Right.
He's one of the best filmmakers around.
I think we're friends also
Yeah,
on Facebook
yeah,
as
I think
well.
so.
It's a tight community around here.
Exactly,
which
it is.
great.
It's true that.
It is really
Well,
great.
let's get back to how you formed American Who and all that stuff.
All right. Yeah. So, long story short,
Yep.
I was in Pennsylvania now. So this was after North Carolina.
Right.
I moved back up to Pennsylvania.
Okay.
And my father told me, he was a college president at that point, he said that I had a tuition remission, which was I could go to school
Yeah.
and not have to pay tuition, but still have to pay room and board and stuff like that. And I'd, of course, have to get into the school.
Right.
So I was a chef at the time, so I thought, well, do I do culinary school or do I give music one more shot?
Right.
And I decided to go to Berklee College of Music.
There you go.
That's what brought me to Boston.
Okay.
But on the last day that I was working, I was going to come up and learn to play guitar.
Right.
The last day I was working in the restaurant, I set my hand on fire. Literally set my hand on fire.
Wow.
And
Looks
had
like
to go
it's
to the
healed pretty
hospital.
good.
Yeah, well, everything. This was a long time ago.
Yep.
Everything's good. But I ended up coming to Berklee with my hand strapped to my chest.
Oh.
So I couldn't play guitar, so I auditioned as a vocalist.
Okay.
And got in,
Yep.
and they needed a lot of vocalists then too. So that was
You know,
like
you kind of look like
83
John
or
Popper
84.
of Blues Traveler.
Oh yeah, really?
Don't you
Yeah,
think?
I love those guys. Those
Yeah.
guys are great.
Yeah, they're
I love
awesome.
Those guys. Thank you.
Sure.
So, met a couple of people at Berkeley. John Songdahl, who's my keyboard player right now, is
Okay.
one of those. So it was about 30 years ago.
Yep. So,
And,
so this is not a new band, 30 years ago.
No. These are just people that I had met while I was at Berkeley.
Oh,
and
okay.
We were in different bands.
Right,
and-
right.
But friends and whatnot. And then I got married and kind of fell out of music for a while. Moved to New York for a little while. Came back. When I came back, I connected with another good friend of mine from Berkeley named John Nicholson, who plays bass.
Okay.
He and I started a Yes tribute band.
Okay.
And we did that around 2002 for
Okay.
about 8 years.
Right.
And then we'd mastered it pretty well, but we couldn't get people to come out and see it. So I finally said, you know, I want to play in front of people. I want to have a band that plays where people will go and drink beers and have a good time and, you know, dance or do whatever.
Right.
And I've been singing The Who since I was like 17 or 18 years old.
Oh, the Who songs?
Yeah.
Okay.
Just love The Who. So I suggested that, and so we split. We broke that band up, and we started American Who about 2011. I
Okay,
think.
so 7 years it's been
Yeah.
going.
Yeah. We've gone through some lineup changes, but I
Well, let me
think
ask you
we've got
this.
the best,
I mean,
best ones
you do
now.
original stuff or just...
No, I consider myself a performer.
Right.
I'm not there's too many good songs out there for me to compete with writing. So I like to perform. I'm an actor. You know,
Right.
that's where I got my start.
Right.
So for me, it's about the performance, and it's about bringing whatever I'm doing, you know, to life.
Yeah.
And to a point where the crowd's enjoying it and whatnot.
Okay.
And so that's really what I focus on is doing that. So no, I haven't written anything in a long time actually.
Okay.
So.
Well, let me ask you this now. I don't know much about the music industry. I took piano lessons for 7 years as a kid. It seems to me that the people that I've had on my show that are into music do very well when they create original stuff. But I guess that's not. But I guess they don't have to. It's just the way you. It's just not the way you go.
Yeah, it's
Everything. So all the songs you play are covers.
Yeah, it's all Who.
It's all
we
Who.
we do, we're in that classic tribute band
Yeah.
fashion, except we sort of focus more on the live sound because the Who was one of the best live bands that you could see.
Smash your
through
guitars
this-
on stage too.
Well, we try not to, but
Okay.
you never know what'll happen.
Right.
But they're unpredictable, and so we lean less towards the studio, more towards the live feel.
Right.
And like this weekend we got a gig coming up, so it'll be 3 hours of the Who.
Okay.
And
Where?
we do pretty well with it. It's the club called Scoreboard in Woburn,
Okay.
and then we're at the Burren in Somerville.
I've been there. I've done a
Yeah.
show there once. It was
Yeah.
great location.
Love that place. Yeah.
You know what? You're good friends with Tom Bianchi, are you?
Yeah.
Okay,
Tom's
tell him
a
I
great
said
guy.
hi.
I will.
Yeah, thanks.
He is a
He'll
wonderful
see the
guy.
show.
Yeah.
He is. He's cool.
He is a wonderful guy.
Yeah, well, I love to get, Danielle, his wife. And we tried to get her on. You know her, right?
I haven't met her.
You never
no.
met Danielle? Okay. I never really met her, but we were Facebook friends.
Yep.
Well, she's very talented, and I've been trying to get her on my show for many years. And I know, I haven't been able. She was going to do something, and then she couldn't make it. So if you get a chance to touch base with Danielle, his wife, see if she'll do my.
I'll let her
hopefully-
know.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, there's nothing
will.
wrong with trying to get more
Absolutely.
people.
No,
Somebody I've been trying to get on for a long time. It would be great. I know that your career is peaking right now.
It's going
It
well.
would be wonderful.
It's fun.
Yeah, and okay. All right. Well, you know what we're gonna do? We're gonna pause for a few minutes, and we're gonna watch a little clip of American Who.
Okay.
Okay.
Sounds good.
You pick a song. Seeing is that it'll be edited in. I don't even know what the song is. You want to tell me? That's fine.
Yeah. I think what I'll probably recommend is "Won't Get Fooled Again," which we filmed at the
Sure.
Twin Rivers Casino.
Great song. Okay.
Yeah. So that would probably be a
So
good one to
so
watch.
without further ado, let's take a little break, and we will watch that, and then we'll come back and we'll talk about it. I love that song, and and it's a great tune for Who and American Who.
Yeah.
So without further ado, taking a break, coming right back.
This is a song for the ages, isn't it?
Don't get fooled again. Wow, what a performance. My
Thank you.
goodness.
It was fun.
It was,
fun.
yeah.
It's a
That was
great
at
place
Twin
to
River?
play. Yeah.
Now,
Twin
you
River
seem to
Casino.
be, you've done a lot of gigs at Twin River, haven't you?
Yeah, we got one in December and then another coming up in July. We try to do 2 a year, one winter and one summer show
They
there.
pay you good at Twin River?
They treat us well there. It's really nice.
Oh, that's
really
awesome.
Like it. Yeah. They're good folks, and it's one of the few places where we can actually get roadies. So that makes it even nicer.
So basically, you're talking about crew people, right?
Yeah.
All right, well, tell you what we're going to do. I want you to just talk about every one of your bandmates in
Sure.
American Who, and then we're going to wrap the show up.
Sure, absolutely. So John Songdahl, who I mentioned before, was
Yeah.
a Berkeley friend of mine. He's a great player.
Yep.
He's a producer. He's got his own studio. He toured actually with U2 in an opening band
Wow.
called Red Rockers for a while.
Cool.
In the 80s.
Yep.
Pat Cran, who again couldn't be here tonight.
Right.
But he's, as you saw, just Keith Moon incarnate. I
There you
mean,
go.
we just love playing with Pat. The two other guys that had joined here, our bass player was a new guy who was just with us for a short time. His name is Art Esposito.
Okay.
Great player. He's a stand-up bass jazz player for the most part, but he'd always had a thing for Entwistle.
Okay.
As you can see, he did a bang-up job. And then David Tessier is out of Providence. He's an actor. He's a director. He's heavy duty in the Providence music and theater scene. And he just brought the whole Townsend feel and abilities and attitude to the band, and so it's really come together as a really solid live act. I'm really happy with the way it's
That's
the way it's
awesome.
panned out. Yeah.
You don't have to worry about writing new songs because you just use the old ones.
We just, the thing we want to do now is just, learn some new ones that we haven't learned before.
Is the Who creating
60
new
years,
songs?
no, but there's about 60 years worth of material in there. So,
Yeah.
There's a lot
Have
to pull
they
from.
been in the band, incorporated band that long?
60, yeah, pretty much
Wow.
63, 64
Do you
they
have
started out.
just quick question? Do you have to have some kind of a legal acceptance on their part to be able to do their music live?
You got me.
Okay.
We play it. No one's knocked on the door yet with a cease and desist letter. So
Okay, all right, that's fine.
We give them full credit, 100%.
Okay.
We're just doing.
Yeah,
think about it.
I always wondered about that. when
Usually,
you
if
do-
you're playing in a place that's like ASCAP covered, the club pays an annual amount of money to the associations that protect the songwriters' material.
Yeah, I was going to say
Yeah.
the rights and everything.
Right.
I was wondering about that.
in all my years of doing this stuff, I've never really had a problem with playing
All
other
right.
people's
Have
music.
you, is there any chance? I know you've done acting. Any chance that you're ever going to incorporate music into acting in the future? You think or not?
Well, we've actually, and this would probably require some sort of permission, but we're thinking about somewhere in the next couple of years.
They just did a movie about Queen.
Yeah. Oh, I know.
Well, maybe you
I
could do
know.
something like that for
I
the
know.
Who.
Well, actually, we're thinking about like staging Quadrophenia
Yeah,
or
yeah,
Tommy,
exactly.
something like that.
I always
and
loved
bringing
Tommy.
in some actors and doing it ourselves and really trying to do it justice,
Okay.
from our standpoint. But that's, pipe dream in the future right now.
Yeah, well, that's okay. I mean, but this is where these dreams fester right
That's right.
here.
That's where they
A
start.
show like mine.
Yeah.
Well, listen, we got about 3 minutes left. In the remaining time, what I want you to do is give some shouts out to people because a lot of them are going to see the show. So look toward the camera, whatever the one with the red light is, the one with Yvonne over there,
Yep.
and give a few shouts out, and then we'll wrap the show up.
All right. Well, I just want to thank the guys in the band because without them, there wouldn't be anything, there wouldn't be anything to play. The club owners we've had a chance to work with, sometimes they're hard to get in touch with, but they do us a great job and they take care of us, which is excellent. And the fans that come to see us, sometimes there's some real serious, hardcore Who nerds, as they'll call themselves. But, again, without the people who are in the audience having a good time, there wouldn't be any reason to do it. So, thank you to all of you.
Okay. What about the people at the people at these clubs or the Twin River Casino? They know who you are, and now you're trying to expand to other major clubs as well, right?
Yep.
Like Foxwoods and.
Yeah, we're moving our way down into Rhode Island.
Rhode Island, right.
that's we want to hit Providence.
Twin
Providence
River
is a great.
Isn't that in Rhode Island? Or
Yeah, it's in
it
Lincoln,
is?
Rhode Island.
It is in
And
Lincoln.
the Providence area is a great music town.
It is.
A lot of good stuff going on down there. So
You're pretty much going to
we're
stay in
really
New
looking
England.
that
You're not going to
direction.
go like New York, L.A.
No, I'm not quitting my day job. I enjoy my day job. I enjoy living in New England. My kids are in college
Cool.
in New England, so you know, the way I always refer to this is what I do instead of golf.
Okay.
You know, I play rock and roll, and that's the fun that I have out of it, and playing in new places and meeting new people. But you know, my concerns or worries about becoming a national act really just
You just don't,
it's
you're
just
happy.
not there.
You're happy with what you got. You
I'm
pay the
just
rent and all
enjoying it.
that. Yeah.
I am just enjoying it as it is. Yep.
Okay.
Yep. We're all good. We're all good.
Well, on that note, I want to hope you had a good time with me tonight.
Absolutely. Thank you very much.
Okay.
Appreciate being here.
Yeah, I mean, and I want to thank you and and Pat, even though he couldn't make it in.
Yep.
Hope he feels better, and I'm looking forward to hearing more stuff from you guys. And
Great.
Are you ready to wrap it up with the Jiggy?
Yeah, yeah, absolutely.
All right, folks, more
good
great episodes of
jazz.
Topic Time. Stay tuned. Here we go. Have a good week. See you later. That's it.